with misinformation, and because of just how AI kind of catalyzes these things. As you know, these platforms are no longer managed by people. Majority of the pieces are managed by technology. Is that misinformation flagged is viewed 13 more times often than the correction. Right? So the misinformation will be viewed 13 times more than the correction. So it means misinformation is, the platforms are built to spread more negative news, more misinformation than positive or correct news. So just know, this is why I kept on saying, as much as you get excited, maybe these platforms are not the correct ones to engage. All I'm saying is media, you have an opportunity to think about how you recalibrate your business. In interest of time, let me go very quickly. The times are complex, right? From the pandemic, we know now, and I'm using a health reference, is that the complexities we see in the world kind of have surpassed the complexities of our minds, right? So the computer is changing, technology is changing, but the humans are the same. Now, unless there's a new human that has evolved, I don't know, point me to that person. I'm very happy to meet that person. So things are becoming complex. So we need to figure out how to avoid complexity and how do we use more data. I think close to home in terms of a very specific use case, and I'm sure you've heard of Jacaranda Health. This is Catherine and a couple of friends of mine, is that sometimes you can use this very complicated technology to solve a very real, ordinary problem. Things around maternal health care, I'll leave the slide so you can see what they've been able to do. Using AI, as complex as it is, being able to drive information in simple feature phones. So you don't need a smartphone, again, to use artificial intelligence. What AI has done is simple. Being able to use prompts as text messages that are able then to guide a woman around the questions they're asking around maternal health. And this is the simplest form of AI. There are other cases where I know you can predict or you can check the health of a baby, begin to screen kind of diseases when the babies are still in the womb. So there's a lot of genomics capability around artificial intelligence. The UAE, through their genome lab, they have the largest database of blood samples. They've been able to increase life expectancy of Emiratis by 10 years. That's what AI does. Because then you can predict, you can go to hospital just because of the genomics, you can know you're prone to certain health conditions when you get older, there's high blood pressure or cancers. You start to mitigate that earlier just by how you live. Do more exercise. It's one of the countries now that is trying to shut down hospitals because they do not need them. Because they can predict a lot of these things, and so create a predictive regime for healthy living. And so with artificial intelligence, you can actually do that. Also because you can do very custom therapies. When we go to hospital, for us, it's universal. The same treatment you get is the same treatment I get. But with AI, because of the different genomics, they've been able to customize therapies for different people. And so AI can do that quite easily. I have a couple of use cases that we've done here ourselves with big tech companies and some folks from UAE around just geospatial planning and weather patterns. We've been able to map, in our case, the forests that we have. So when we keep on doing this, we wouldn't have done this without artificial intelligence. So we can tell our forest health, forest cover. We can break it by pixel. We can be able to work with companies to be able to monitor and verify whether that particular area or water tower is healthy and whether trees are being cut or not, and what you need to do better in the next. So this is Kenya, so this is not any other country. And we do this really in collaboration with a couple of partners we're able to do. Now we are going to get about 50 centimeters resolution of satellite imagery simply because of what artificial intelligence can do 8 times a day. And so all of these things happen. For the first time, if you remember, this was our work with the Red Cross, and we were able to get SMS alerts from the Red Cross because of the floods last year. We were able to do this in 4 days, map the whole country, have a collaborative, understand where the flood extent would be, have the hotspots and the red spots, the potential challenges of floods with our infrastructure, including hospitals, and being able to move people where it was safe, including safety from landslides. So I have many use cases, and I can share that just to see how artificial intelligence is being deployed. What we need is agile institutions. It all boils down to institutions. It's about people. Use technology, we can talk about it, but without people, we cannot adapt very well. It's really about anticipatory regulations. So as you govern your own institutions, start being very anticipatory, because if you still do the old linear stuff, your regulations or governance structures will be overtaken by technology and you'll be disrupted. If you doubt me, ask any taxi driver. You know what Uber is, right? Any hotel owner, you know what Airbnb is, right? Can I continue? So that's what happens, right? And so how do you begin to anticipate so that you understand these things? How do you redefine concepts? So I'm asking people to think a little bit deeper, because that's what AI is doing. How do we govern our data better? As 90% was created in the last 2 years, another 90 will be created in the next 2 years. So we need to govern our data better, including people's personal records. We need to collaborate more. You're the Editors Guild, but still individual news rooms. How do you break those silos? If platforms are the future. I have a different slide for the future of media. You'll be shocked what I have there in terms of revenues, because between Meta, Amazon, Google, they're taking all your revenue. You can take another one. You can take another class on that one. But it's basically to say, unless you shift your practice, your revenue is going somewhere else. It's not that revenue is, advertising is not reducing, it's your revenues are reducing. So how do you calibrate that equation? And it's simply because of how you do your business. I'm happy to share those slides. I shared them, I think in the last week I had. Address the challenges that we have. I think issues around human oversight, I think you need to build capacity and capability around AI, management and governance and leadership. The techies are fine. I always say it. The market will take care of them. What you need to think about is, how do you lead in an era of AI? And how do leaders get more capacity and capability to be able to manage this talent? Because if she can do this on her own, on her phone, think about her working for you in a media house, and 10 of them. Just think about it. We need to build future-ready leaders, and I still keep on leadership, and I still end with leadership. All starts and ends with leadership. I'll give you the slides for now. As I end, I think that's what we need to do collaboratively, is how do you build a safe, secure, and inclusive digital future that is safe, secure, and trustworthy for everyone. Thank you very much. I hope that made sense. And if you're looking for me, I have an email address. Thank you. I'll say for questions.
Thank you, Ambassador Philip.